people telling me I cannot fight, and it put me in a dark spot. But you know, I learned a lot about myself. In everything I did, I just wanted to be the best, and whatever it is. And I didn't want no shortcuts. I didn't want no handouts. I wanted it the hard way. And I'm about building legacy and living the legacy, and let the blessed era continue. All these money fights is gonna come. You know, like I said, these guys is it's all cupcakes. So whoever is a cupcake, the flavor of the month, let me know. I'd love to taste it.
Max Holloway, destined for greatness. Ever heard of the phrase, "A rock under great pressure becomes a diamond"? Well, this is totally an attribute of Max Holloway. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we got everyone's favorite Hawaiian featherweight, Max Blessed Holloway. Max is an inspiration to many. Even with the cards stacked against him, he was always destined for greatness. Let's jump into it. Number 6. His origins. This dude was born in Honolulu, Hawaii, and the place he grew up in, called Waianae, was a crass and rough town. It was known for fistfighting, which was common in the streets. Added to that, his father and mother were heavy drug users. His mother, Missy Kapoy, was an addict and an avid crystal meth consumer who later went to rehab. His father, Max Holloway, was usually absent and not the greatest role model. He left when he was only 11. Max trained in kickboxing in 2007, and at 15, he won his first amateur bout only after half a week of training. He showed promise and signs of greatness at this young age.
You shouldn't even give up. Like, what is that? Like that, if you give up, you certified a loser. If you try, you at least a winner in your book.
Fun fact, the high school he attended also boasted MMA fighters like Yetsi Medeiros. Even bantamweight fighter Raquel Alou was also from there. Number 5. His time before the UFC. At the age of 19, his fights got him a record of 4-0, and he was even compared to the legendary Anthony Pettis because of his style. Like Pettis, Holloway also used flying and spinning kicks, knees, and elbows. In only his third pro fight, he won over the former Strikeforce and WEC veteran Harris Ceramento in 2011 and got himself the lightweight strap and X1 champions.
Here at X1, and his name is Little Evil Max Holloway.
Number 4. His UFC entry. He was the youngest fighter on the UFC roster, and he was originally cast there as an injury replacement for Ricardo Lamas against Dustin Poirier. He, unfortunately, lost via submission due to a mounted triangle armbar in the first round itself. His second fight was great. He paced Pat Schilling in 2012 at the UFC 15 finale and won via a unanimous decision. There were kicks, body shots, and Schilling got a late leg lock, but it wasn't enough, and Holloway won via unanimous decision. Holloway defeated Justin Lawrence later at the UFC 150, and he won the fight via TKO in the second round. He then faced Leonard Garcia, replacing Cody McKenzie, who was injured, and he won the fight via a split decision. His next opponent was Dennis Bermudez, and he lost the fight. But this was very controversial, as 11 out of 11 media members voted for Holloway. His next fight he faced off against Conor McGregor in 2013 at the UFC Fight Night 26, but he lost again by unanimous decision. Undeterred, he faced a newcomer Will Chop in January 2014 at the UFC Fight Night 34, and he won the fight amazingly by the TKO in the second round. He got his first knockout out of the night bonus. His most interesting match was against Andre Fili in 2014, and it was such a back and forth fight that everyone was in so much suspense. He made Fili submit, and Max won the fight. Max Holloway said that it was his toughest fight to date. Fili seemed to be winning at first, but Holloway displayed his killer instinct by locking onto Fili's neck to submit him with a guillotine choke.
It's awesome, you know, I felt like he was up in the cards and I needed to finish in that third round. My professor then told me, and my professor Island said if I got a submission, he'd buy me a box of Krispy Kreme, so he gotta pay up. Krispy Kremes it is.
Next up was Mirsad Bektic in 2014, who was replacing an injured Ernest Chavez, but even Mirsad pulled out. So Max had to fight Clay Collard, and he won it via TKO. He faced Akira Kurosani as a replacement for Chang Sung Jun, and that fight was epic. He got a Performance of the Night bonus award. Max looked superb in the match. He rocked Kurosani early and ended up finishing via KO by punches. Many people said that Max had great potential in him after watching him in that fight. He subsequently won via unanimous decision against Cole Miller on February 15th in 2015. Against Cub Swanson, he used a mounted guillotine in the 3rd round and he got his 2nd Performance of the Night award. His win against Charles Oliveira happened in the 1st round. The fight was stopped from a neck injury that Charles had suffered and he was unable to continue. The injury was later found out to be a micro tear in his esophagus. To this day, Holloway became the youngest fighter in UFC to get 10 wins. He then faced Jeremy Stevens and again won. Holloway faced Ricardo Lamas and won. And finally, he faced the Anthony Pettis he was always likened to. This was for the interim UFC Featherweight Championship in 2016, and Pettis was found 3 limbs above the featherweight limit. This made him ineligible to win, and he was fined 20% of his earnings that night, which would go to Holloway. And Max Holloway won that fight in the 3rd round with a TKO, and he even got another Performance of the Night bonus.
Throwing those shots, another hard shot to the body.
Yep.
Pettis is in trouble. Holloway's pouring it on.
Holloway looking to
He's
finish
melting.
it.
That's
It is all over.
Wow.
Max Holloway finishes Anthony Pettis.
Outstanding. Wow.
In 2017, he fought against Jose Aldo, and he defeated him with poise and precision via TKO in the 3rd round, and he got a Fight of the Night bonus award for the bout. He defended his UFC featherweight belt by defeating Jose Aldo again, who was a replacement for Frankie Edgar. By this time, the entire world was on watch for the Blessed Express. Number 3. His stint in the UFC Lightweight Championship. In 2018, Holloway was to be a late replacement for Tony Ferguson against Khabib Nurmagomedov in contention for the vacant UFC Lightweight Championship. If he won, he'd be next to Conor McGregor to hold titles in 2 different divisions simultaneously. Would have been great, right? But sadly, he wasn't in training then, and during his weigh-in after just 6 days, the doctors pulled him from the fight due to the severity of the weight cut on short notice. The next time he had to pull out from a UFC Featherweight Championship title was against Brian Ortega due to concussion-like symptoms. He later did have a match against Ortega, where he won via TKO and doctor stoppage. He broke the record for most significant strikes in a round, and set records with the most UFC featherweight history with 15 victories. He moved up a weight class and fought against Dustin Poirier and lost. The match kept people on the edge with the back and forth being evenly matched. This got him the Fight for the Night award. He defended the featherweight championship against Frankie Edgar and won by unanimous decision. But the subsequent match he lost against Alexander Volkanovski, ending his featherweight title reign in 2019. In 2020, he faced Volkanovski again, but lost via split decision, and this became a huge controversy with Dana White, John McCarthy, and many other MMA fighters.
It doesn't matter what I think, but the UFC, you guys, the world, they can see 80 to 90% of the world thinks I won, you know? And that's what matters to them, and you know, and that's what mattered to me.
Number 2,
You know,
the epic Kattar Holloway fight. His recent match with Calvin Kattar in 2021 on January 16th, he completely dominated. All 5 rounds Calvin was no match for him, and he won by unanimous decision. In the last 2 minutes, he gave a 2-punch combo and stared and talked to the commentary team, dodging Kattar's strikes effortlessly, and yelled that he was the best boxer in the UFC. Many fans said that it was a reminiscent of Muhammad Ali, who always showboated. He set records that night, and both of them earned the Fight of the Night award. This was also called his superhuman performance and drew so much praise. Joe Rogan took to Instagram to post about it and indeed called him blessed. He complimented the angles, the combinations, the octagon IQ, and said that Holloway had come quite a long way. He also complimented Kattar for his resilience and his ability to withstand barrages. Number 1, his achievements. He's accomplished so much over the years, reigning his prowess over 2 weight classes. He's become the Ultimate Fighting Champion. He's gotten the UFC Featherweight Championship. He had 3 amazingly successful title defenses and won 4 Fight of the Night awards, 4 Performance of the Night awards, 1 Knockout of the Night award, and he was the first American in history to win the UFC Featherweight Championship. Even the great Khabib said that Max Holloway was really great, and he has an attractive future ahead. He said that Max had the potential to be the best fighter of all time. Khabib's match with Max never came to fruition. The whole MMA world was saddened. Many fans said that it would have been a great match, maybe even the best ever in lightweight. He's had the second longest winning streak in UFC history, like John Jones, Khabib, Kamaru Usman, and Georges St. Pierre. He's had the most wins in the UFC featherweight division and the most stoppage victories in the UFC featherweight division history. He's made ripples in MMA too, before all this. His achievements have been numerous, and we know he's destined for amazing things in the future. He's Max Holloway, and is gonna be great. So what did you think of the epic Max Holloway? Do you think he's gonna win the belt again? Should he join the lightweight division? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends for more interesting news, and subscribe to our channel for more updates. Hit the bell icon button to not miss an update from our channel, and we'll see you in the next video. Stay home and stay safe.
It's not how you start the race, it's how you finish the race. And you know, that year we finished it off strong.
Yeah.
And then, you know, this year a little bit shaky, but then now hopefully we finish it strong, so we're coming up.